Okay, hey everyone, my actual and supposable eligible, not eligible, by supposable followers, and that's me, Alex. That's my kind of regular evening of mine, and I've just watched the Bloomberg channel, and I tell you what, my adorable friends, the perception of the sensation, how I grasped my English, the apprehension on general, how I grasped English, those things are changed, actually changed, and it's been changing right now. My ability to understand fast and middle rate of speech when native speaker and not only natives like regular foreigners, they're not actually the native speakers of English. How they speak, they do a lot of mistakes that I do, the way I do, and in the absence of pure, just perfect way of speaking, I can fairly tell that. I mean, in the absence of perfect, just most perfect way of speaking, I can fairly tell that the practice, the only key to improving yourself, the only key to self-advancement and forward in direction that you want to follow in your life. And I do my English every second day. I mean, my listening practice. I practice to listen to Bloomberg channel because they speak very fast and very brilliant English. And by listening Bloomberg channel, I just stretch myself. Anytime I watch, anytime I just try to grasp naturally without any translation in my head, those like native words, they go to my head, they go to my backbone, and they dissolve into my backbone, into my entire organism, and that goes without any translation. And at some points I may relax and just try to not to concentrate too much about what they say out of the screen, and without concentration I'm able to grasp, let's say, I don't know, maybe up to 70% of what's been said just from the screen. And with having harsh, I would say, concentration, I'm able to follow and I'm able to understand up to 99, from 99 to 120% of what's been said. And I'm not just trying to brag here, I'm just to tell the things as they are. And the thing that I noticed also about myself is that I kind of began to do my regular session of self-recording more rarely, and that's not because of not being interested about doing further continuations of my those series of self-recording. As you might see clearly, what I do right now, I call my those sessions like I don't know, maybe ramblings, or bear with all my rude language, with all my self-deprecating humor that I use in front of you now, that I'm using in front of you now. And excuse me for doing such a tiny and bigger mistakes, and bear with all my poor, or maybe not so poor pronunciation of my adorable English, and just be just patient about my way of learning. And I I I just became clear that the way of learning that natives do, and I try to stick to the way of learning is the way of learning that natives do. And that's been kind of very good guy in my life, and he still is. His name is Drew, and he's kind of forwarding me. He guides me those days into my highest points where I want to be in terms of how I would know my English, my future days. And I try to stretch myself every single day with all the practices that I have. I may speak English, I may listen to some native speech, I may just to try to memorize a list of words that I start to think about as about things that I want to quit, because those like attempts of trying to memorize like list of things to do, the things to remember, the things to that comprise of just native vocabulary pieces, they're not so they're not so just useful as the native speech, as the native guidance, I should say. And those days I tend to do those practices more connected with the practice itself, trying to speak at a lower, at a higher, at a middle rate of speech, and trying to do that correctly without any pieces of any mistakes, huge ones, tiny ones, middle-sized ones, and I try to drill my pronunciation every single day, and I wanna drive this point home because I'm standing on that. I'm so keen on that, and I'm just for it in any just a piece of my mind, and I'm gonna fight for that with any tool in the shed because I stand on that, and I will, and I see very clearly the improvements of mine with having those practices done, and the more I practice, the more my fluent and right for English of mine becomes, and I without having without seeing all those improvements, how I would be able to speak about that, right? And I only speak about things that I experienced, and I can tell very fair and honestly that I've been there and I've done that. My adorable practices how to learn English and how to actually not learn but to practice English. But the more, the more you practiced, the more you seasoned at doing your free and rugged English. Let's say I'm doing very rugged and very free English. That's why I call my channel. Uh, I should have called it maybe rugged and free English but I like distilled things and I shortened the name and it became more like dive into English instead of being like deep dive into rugged and harsh and free English, you know what I'm saying? That's been my self-deprecating humor for you now, and I'm gonna just wrap this shit up in order to preserve some free spaces in your minds and your ability again to do something more point oriented. Not only this evening, brilliant and beautiful evening, I should say, I'm having right now. My one of mine most beautiful and most useful evenings I have ever had, and I wish you the same. Have a good night, have a good evening, have a good times ahead of you, and the more you do your advancement, the more you're stretching your towards your goals, the more you will be seasoned at that, and you will be more practiced and more prepared to your future days. And anyways, that's been kind of the recap of my day, the recap of my beautiful and my adorable evening that I'm having right now. And I just tell you what, have a nice night, have a good sleep, and have a big and very just significant future plans and stretch towards your goal. Just, just even I don't know, maybe go just towards your goal, and everything is gonna be fine with that. And the more you just doing your practice, the more you will be filled with the feeling that you're on the right track, and that again is about to even pull you more significantly to your goals. And the more you become conscious about what you're doing those days, the more you will be able to concentrate on your future goals, and all those things mentioned before will pull you up inevitably, and you will one day you will find yourself very fluent, extremely pure fluent, and dissolved into your English as I'm trying to be, as I'm striving to do those with having those practices of mine, and I'm trying to again drive this point home for this point of mine to be understood fully and to be even taken over with some of my followers, and I hope I have such a good friends and followers and subscribers to my channel, and I will have more numerous audience on my channel with in my future days, and I'm pretty sure about that. And guys, anyways, I won't be ranting for too long tonight because I'm kind of tired and weary, and I wanna just run a bath and lay there and do nothing, you know what I'm saying? And that's it. Take care, be good guys and girls, and take care. Bye.